And now, introducing Casey Carter.
Hey, it's Tuesday. Oh my God, it's Wednesday. And it's time for Casey at Night. Okay, so I'm tripping because I just told you it was Tuesday. And I know good and doggone well it is Wednesday. Please forgive me, y'all. It's been a long, long week. But we are here together and I'm damn happy about it. Um, Forgive me because I'm literally over here multitasking and I gotta stop doing that. Gotta be present in the moment. So I don't know about you, but COVID is tripping me out to some extent. These numbers, these states. Look, I'm in Georgia. I'm in one of those states in like the top 10 of, high cases of COVID and hospitalization rate and all of that. And let me tell you, I don't play with my mask. I be in the office all masked up and, vaccinated in the whole nine. And my coworkers aren't all necessarily doing that. So yeah, and Florida, hello. I don't know what y'all think you're doing, but y'all need to get it together, especially because events are getting canceled in Florida. So, as you know, I was nominated for 2 awards with ASN Lifestyle Magazine. And in just about a month's time, we were going to be live at their award show. And just today, they canceled. Let me not say canceled. They postponed, rescheduled for January because of COVID. Ironically, my company, the company that I work for, they are also headquartered in Florida, and they had a leadership event going on that same weekend. Canceled today. Literally canceled today. So, I don't know. Exotica just announced all their after parties. I think they're probably, as long as Miami doesn't shut down, Exotica is still happening. So get y'all tickets, y'all. Get y'all's tickets. Okay? Mm. But you picked a good night to show up for Casey at Night. Why? Because tonight I am bringing you the topic that initially got me kicked off of Twitter, Periscope, whichever it was. I can't even tell. I think it was back in September of 2019. I started to do this particular show, and I think within 10 or 15 minutes of the start of the show, I got cut. I don't honestly think it was the topic. I think somebody watching the show got their feelings hurt, and they reported me because I wasn't talking about anything crazy. But I've kind of reworked that topic, and so tonight, here's what we're talking about.
Bésame, ven y atrápame. Hagamos jueguitos que de chiquito no podía hacer. Dale, bésame, ven y atrápame. Que ahora adultos sabemos bien lo que vamos a hacer.
I'm sorry. I was letting that play. I was trying to get to the chorus where they were saying, Bésame. And I don't know what else they said. But I do know. Go on ahead. Give me a kiss, boo. Mwah. So anyway, tonight's topic is, hey, Kelly. Tonight's topic is 5 ways to get what you want in the bed. Let me say that again for you. It is 5 ways to get what you want in the bed. Okay, so I know a lot of you probably don't even give this a second thought because, you and your partner are doing it, or if you don't have a partner, you're not even really thinking about whether or not you're getting what you want in bed because you're probably telling yourself, as long as we're doing it, I'm okay. Fuck that. No. Mm-mm. No. As long as you're doing it, that means you're alive. All right. No, we want to get beyond being grateful just because you're having sex or that just because you're having sex with someone. We want to get to a place where everybody is having the experience that they want in the bed. So tonight we're going to talk about the 5 things you can do to get what you want in the bed. Okay? Number 5 on the list is share your sexual fantasies with your partner. Okay, so for some of y'all, this is going to freak you out because you're going to be like, I can't tell them that stuff. I can't, I don't know how to tell them. I don't know what to say. I'm going to give you your first tip on how to do this. If you're uncomfortable sharing a fantasy with your partner, send it to him in a text, send it to him in an email, write a note, smoke signals. You don't have to actually try to be face to face with them and say it. Make it a little easier on yourself and write it down and slide it across the table and say, just go ahead and read that. And if you have to, walk out the room so you don't have to see the look on their face if you're really that stressed out about it. But yes, tell them if you've got this, situation, this scenario, this fantasy where you're cooking in the kitchen and then you get bent over the counter and your apron goes up and, or you're working at a desk and your boss says, come here and bends you over the desk. Whatever it is, no shame, but write it down. Send it to your partner. Let them know, was just thinking maybe we could do a little something different. But yeah, number 5, share your sexual fantasies with your partner. Text, email, lettergram, post-it note, voice note, whatever you got to do. But just share that. All right, number 4 on our list. Tell them something you would like to change. Now, this could also be a challenge, and I'm going to tell you why. Sometimes we don't know how to tell our partner they're not a good kisser, or we don't know how to tell our partner you feel like they're going to pull your dick off when they're giving you a hand job, or you don't know how to tell your partner, yeah, that's just not working for me. You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to find a way to do this. And it's important that you find your voice in doing this because I firmly believe communication is key to any relationship, and it is also key to getting what you want in the bed. And that means you're gonna have to find your voice, and you're gonna have to say, "Hey, babe, I was just thinking maybe we could try kissing a different way. Maybe we can try it like this." So you're not necessarily telling your partner that they're a bad kisser, but you're engaging them in the idea of let's do something different in an effort to change how they do what they do. Um, and again, it's all about how you say it, right? Like I could tell you anything. I could tell you your breath smells like shit if I say it the right way. So when you're suggesting to your partner that you want to change something, be very careful how you say it. That's all I'm saying. Be very careful how you say it. Also, make it seem like it's something that would be fun to do. Like I said earlier, when you're suggesting to your partner about a different way to kiss, you know, you want it to seem more like you're trying something new together as opposed to you suck at kissing. And I think especially for guys, how we ladies tell our guy, our partner, our man, our boyfriend, our boo, our honey, or whatever we call him, how we tell him we want to do something different is really significant. I'm sure, and Kelly, back me up on this. I'm sure you would rather hear me say, let's try something different than to tell you you suck at the thing we do. Because if I say to you that you suck at kissing and then say, this is how you need to do it, you are not going to receive what I have to say. So it's really important that you don't necessarily focus on the negative and that you put all the emphasis on the trying something new, trying something different. And hopefully your partner receives that. So, number 3 on our list. And please jump in if you've got suggestions, thoughts, ideas, or if you've had to go through this with a partner where you had to talk about some stuff in order to improve your experience in the bed. But number 3, share something you would like to try. Now, this is different than what I said about the like to change. Even though it seems the same, the method or the train of thought behind tell them something you would like to change is different than you want to try something new. Trying something new means we've never done this. I've never done this. And you are doing this possibly new together, or it's just new for you and your partner is open to the newness. So in suggesting that you try something new, or that there's something you would like to try, oftentimes is related to the fact that there's something specific you're not doing in the bedroom. Unfortunately, it's usually one of two things. And it's really the same thing, just two different scenarios. Most of the time, it's oral. It's oral or it's anal. And it's a challenge for some people to engage in oral, or sometimes it's a challenge to engage in anal. I've had a lot of people say, hey, Casey, how do I get my partner to want to have anal? I'm like, did you ask? That's the first question. Did you ask? Well, yeah, but she said no. She said that it's dirty or it would hurt or, you know, a myriad of things as to why we won't do anal. Or how do I get my girlfriend to give me head? Did you ask? It's always going to be my first question. Did you ask? Because I grew up with the saying, you have not because you ask not. So how do you get your girl to give you head? Did you ask? And then if you asked, how did you ask? And then after we determine how you asked, have you asked more than once in a different way? Either way you put it, start with asking the question. Ask your partner. And when you get the objections, be prepared for the objections. So, for example, if you want to talk about, hey, Casey, how do I get my partner to do anal? And you ask your partner and your partner says, oh, it's dirty, like I poop out of there, or I'm afraid of what would come out, or, anything to that extent. First, I would recommend researching it. Researching how to have anal. Sounds crazy, right? Nope, because just about everything is searchable. So Google how to have anal. I promise you're going to find a million suggestions for how to do it. One of the things that I see commonly is to douche, is to rinse out your butt. I don't know how else to say that. I don't know any polite way of saying that. But like, you'll find that that's a suggestion. You'll find some folks will be concerned that they will poop in the process of having anal. And yeah, sometimes it happens, but most times it doesn't. And part of that is because the penis is only going in but so far, and poop is located quite kind of out of that zone. But if you've got bowels that are sensitive and soft and you fear that they may come out, then douche. Get some water up in that butt and let it out. You know, make you feel a little bit better. You might also suggest to your partner, hey, let's take a bath together. Now, this is for those of you who are trying to get your partner to do oral. Suggest taking a bath together, taking a shower together, washing together, because some folks will say, oh, it smells, and that could be another problem. It's, hot and sweaty and stinky, and again, any myriad of reasons that a person can come up with. So suggest bathing together, showering together, because of course that in and of itself could be a sexy experience if you're in the shower together or in the tub together. That can turn into a whole nother thing. But it gives your partner the sense that you are doing this together, that it's not a something they have to do and they have to get over and they have to figure it out. You're telling them that you want to do this with them, and this is all of this. It's not just you want them to give you head and sit back and be like, yeah, great, thank you. You want to engage in whatever's going to help them feel comfortable in doing it, and by doing it together, you then can break down those walls that might discourage them from wanting to try. So Lawrence says, learn to have anal, learning instruction on Dating Kinky website. So yeah, so I'm at 5 seconds here to promote the fact that Lawrence did some audio for a how to have anal lesson. And there's multiple audios. There's audios for couples and all kinds of ways that they instruct you on how to have anal. And it's available on Dating Kinky. Datingkinky.com, I believe, is what it is. But yeah, Google it. Dating Kinky. They've got a whole series of audio. And Lawrence, aka Lorenzo, is one of the voices in the audio. So check it out. Let me see. Do I have any other tips? It says, often there is some give in a person's take on taboo. If you can figure out a way to make the desired behavior exciting for both of you to explore, or perhaps simply a shot at trying it again, it becomes feasible when they feel like they're doing it together, that you're doing it as a couple. Comes free with the membership. Yep. So Lorenzo says that the audio is free when you have a dating kinky membership. Before we go to a commercial, I'm gonna share something with you. So, years and years and years ago, I was dating someone, and he was like, asked, give me head. Or he didn't say it like that. It wasn't as crude as that. But we talked about it. And I was young and was like, I hadn't done it. Now, understand, I wasn't necessarily completely opposed to it, but I hadn't done it. And I hadn't felt inclined to want to do it. I hadn't been with anybody who but who I felt like I wanted to do it with. And so, of course, we actually had discussion about it. We talked about it. One of the things he wanted to know was, well, what is it? What don't you like about the idea of it? And hey, Ty, how are you? And so I explained to him, I thought that the biggest thing I had to overcome was cum. Pun intended. I had to overcome the fear of it in my mouth, in my face, anywhere near this general region. Um, and of course, until you do it, you really have no idea what it's like. So I had nothing to base it on. I had nothing to say, okay, the last time I did it, whatever. So here's what we did. So I helped him masturbate. He jerked off. He came, and because I was helping him masturbate, giving him a hand job, it trickled on my hand. It got on my hand, and he licked it. I licked it, and crazy enough, that got me over the hump. Like, that's something as simple as that, as the fact that he was willing to lick the cum. Now, granted, it was his, right? Like, it shouldn't have been that big a deal. But the fact that he was willing to lick it, and I licked it, and we were there together doing this, and we got to that place together, and the rest is history. I'll be right back.
Nominated Best Lifestyle in Adult Industry Erotic Writer and Best Lifestyle Adult Educator, Casey Carter. Winners will be announced September 18, 2021.
All right, so we're back with 5 ways to get what you want in the bed. Okay, so as you can see, we've been through 3 of them. And for my gentlemen watching, and for the ladies, all of you watching, if you've got suggestions, things you've tried, things that you tried and didn't work, or things you tried that did work, by all means, drop it in the chat there. But yes, number 5, share your sexual fantasies with your partner. Number 4, tell them something you'd like to change. Be real easy with that one. Real easy. Don't tell them they suck at kissing. Say, hey, babe, let's try kissing like this. Share something you would like to try. And, babe, I was just thinking, maybe you might want to try a little head, see what happens. What do you think? And be receptive to whatever their objection is, so that you can quickly say, well, let's do this. Let's try this. Maybe if we did this together, and you might feel more comfortable. But nonetheless, communicate. Talk to your partner and see. Maybe you don't know. I mean, they may be willing to do more than you would give them credit for. So next up in our 5 ways to get what you want in the bed, number 2 is share something you've never confessed. Yeah. Okay, so something you've never confessed. For example, maybe like that thing I just told you. I've never told anybody about that. So y'all just heard something that Casey's never said out loud to anyone else, right? Like I've never told anybody that story about how I started sucking dick. Never said that before. Um, um, hey Tevin, how are you? When will I have Rita on again? I don't know. I have definitely got to get Rita back on. I asked Rita to give me a painting lesson, and I suggested that maybe we could do that on the show together. So you stay tuned, Tevin, and I will see about getting her on as soon as I can. But in the meantime, Tevin, I'm sorry. Forgive me for keep referring to you as Kevin. I've got a family member named Kevin, so it's gonna come out first. Please forgive me. It is not meant to be disrespectful. It just automatically my cousin is a Kevin. But anyway, so share something you've never confessed. There might be something that your partner would like to try, but you've always thought it was too far over the line. So you never brought it up. You should be able to tell your partner anything. If it's a good relationship, if it's a good, healthy relationship, you should be able to tell them anything. Now, let me say this. Even in good, healthy relationships, we sometimes hold back. We sometimes hold back. And so I say that to say, find a way. Remember in the beginning, I said, when you share your sexual fantasy with your partner, maybe you need to send them a text, an email, telegram, post-it note, audio file, whatever. Same thing with this in terms of sharing something you've never confessed before. You might have to find a way to get comfortable with whatever it is that you want to confess. For example, I had a follower on Twitter who shared with me that they were into pegging, but they hadn't shared that with their wife. And I was like, okay, why? Like, why haven't you told your wife that it was something that you were into? And we never quite got to that place other than to say that he didn't think she was kinky like he was kinky. And my response to that was, how do you know? You didn't ask. You didn't say. My suggestion to him was, don't even tell her that out the gate. Find out if she has any sexual fantasies. You may not know she does because A, you didn't ask, and B, sometimes conservative people, folks who are conservative in their regular life, are embarrassed or ashamed to talk about what they secretly would like to do. So find a way to share that thing. Find a way if it's that you want to go to a dungeon, if it's that you want to be tied up and flogged and whipped and or have hot candle wax poured on your body. Find a way to share those things with your partner. It's really, really important, because what happens is this particular person ended up going outside the marriage to have that fantasy, that desire, that kink, that fetish fulfilled. And that brings a certain amount of guilt, if you will. To be hiding this thing from your partner, to be then doing this thing with someone who was not your partner, and you're deriving sexual pleasure from it. You may not be desirous of the person you're doing it with, but you are certainly being fulfilled in a way that you should be with your partner. So, yeah, there are consequences to these kinds of things. And I definitely suggest find a way, even if that first conversation isn't about your fantasy and it's about your partner's fantasy, it allows you to open the door to discussion about your fantasy. So give that some thought. Give some thought to something you'd like to confess, whether it's you want to be you want to have a collar put on your neck and you want to be led around by a leash like a dog or a cat, or whether you want to have sex in a room full of people, or whether you want to have a third person in, join you and your partner. Find a way to say it, because it's going to eat you up. You're going to always feel somewhat unfulfilled if you don't say it. And sometimes saying it and talking it through, that may be as far as you ever get. But it brings this connection between you and your partner to be able to share something like that. So give that some thought. And I'll be right back to give you the number one thing, the number one way to get what you want in the bed. I'll be right back.
On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Way up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon'
All right. We are down to the last of our 5 ways to get what you want in the bed. Now, I don't know about you, but I can definitely tell you that for me, I've done a lot of these things. Some of these things I've been good at being able to do. Some of them took a little bit more courage. But definitely when you find you're with someone who you feel comfortable with, you find yourself wanting to tell them these things. You find yourself, even if you're anxious, it's almost like the anxiety to not to share outweighs the anxiety of the embarrassment. So it's a good thing when you have a partner that makes you want to share. It is also very natural and very normal to feel anxious about wanting to share these things, because I think most of us are very concerned about, will we be judged? What will my partner think? Will they not want to be with me anymore if they think I'm a stone cold freak looking to swing from the chandelier? I actually would think you were kind of cool, but nobody's asking me, right? But yeah. So anyway, don't be afraid to have conversation. Communicate. As my mama says, you have not because you ask not. So ask for what you want. And finally, number 1 on our list of the 5 ways to get what you want in the bed: connect with your sensual self. Okay. What do you mean by that, Casey? Are you saying I need to masturbate? Maybe. That might be what you need to do. But it is not that specific. It is not necessarily a sexual, physical act that you may need to do to connect with your sensual self. You may be the kind of person that wears, and I'm speaking to the ladies specifically right now, you may be the kind of person that wears flannels to bed, tops and bottoms. You may go to bed with that sleeping cap thing. There may be a myriad of things that you do that, say, for example, when you go to bed, not very sexy. Try something different. Try going to bed in lingerie. Try going to bed butt naked. Like literally be in the bed naked when your partner gets there. Or just do that for you, just to feel the sheets, the coolness of the sheets on the bed. And then you may say, hey, if I'm going to get in the bed naked with no clothes, I might just go ahead and buy some softer sheets, some satiny sheets. Bamboo seems to be the new hotness in sheets. At one point, we were obsessed with thread count. Now we're doing bamboo sheets. Now we're doing poly satin because it's soft and silky and feels good on your skin. The point in doing something as simple as going to bed naked on some very soft sheets, it's because of the way it makes you feel. It's because of how you are now connecting to your body. That is the point in connecting with your sensual self. Connecting with your body, connecting with what turns you on, what stimulates you, how you like to be touched, what you like to have said to you. You may need to wear something super sexy, and these are things that I'm suggesting that you could do by yourself. You don't have to have your partner around, but you're doing this for yourself. And you may dress up real sexy. Again, I'm talking to the ladies because gentlemen don't always have that. Y'all don't seem to have a problem connecting with yourself. So for the ladies, put on something sexy. Dance around your house naked. um Wear that perfume that you like that costs a lot of money, and so you don't wear it that much. Put that joint on. Smell yourself. For real, smell yourself. Some of you, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna lean in close and say this, some of y'all need to put your hands on your own vagina. I'm saying it. Some of y'all need to put your hands on your own vagina. You need to feel how it feels for yourself. And dare I say, you need to taste it. Casey, how do I taste my own vagina? Put your fingers in there, girl. Swirl them fingers around. Slide, pull them out. Put them in your mouth. Now, and understand, going back to what I was saying earlier about how do you get your girl to give you head. Ladies, if you ain't touched your own vagina, if you haven't tasted your own vagina, why the hell do you think somebody else should go down there and taste it? Put your damn fingers in your damn vagina, put them in your damn mouth, is what I'm telling you. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Now, after you've done that, now you can say to your partner when they put their fingers in you, no, baby, do it like this. I like it like this. Ooh. Because some of y'all don't know how you like to have your vagina touched. Why? Because you ain't touched it. And I know it feels different when somebody else touches it. But the point I'm trying to make is you can't tell them how you like it if you've never done it how you like it. And I know, don't get mad at me, ladies. Please don't get mad at me. I'm trying to help you help your partner give you what you want. And in order to do that, you have to know. It's like if somebody says to you, what do you want for your birthday? And what do you like at this particular store or whatever? You can answer those questions in a heartbeat. Yet, I ask you, how do you like your vagina touched? And you're like, I don't know. However he touches it. Maybe he don't touch it as good as you think he should. Anyway, because I could go down a rabbit hole on that one. Connect with your sensual self. And I think there are maybe a percentage of fellas who maybe, I'm not going to say you don't know what you like. You probably do know exactly how you like to have your dick handled. But maybe you don't know about the other things, the more sensual things that you may like. You may not realize how much you like to feel the breath, the heat of the breath on your neck, or how you like to hear the sound of your partner's voice when they not necessarily whisper, but talk low in your ear. It's a very strange sensation when someone is right up on you and they talk in a low tone. And the reason that matters is because it vibrates. The eardrum, it'll vibrate. And you'll feel that in here. and it gives you this sensation that you can feel it, as it goes down your neck. Needless to say, Casey has I try a whole lot of stuff. Yeah, I'm telling you. Um, Another thing you may not realize you like, you've had your mouth kissed and you've had your forehead kissed and you've probably had your cheeks kissed. But have you ever had your eyelids kissed? Like eyes closed and had kisses placed on your eyelids? Sounds silly, right? Yeah, okay. Try it. See how silly it sounds. Kissing all over your face, including the eyelids and here, right? Like right here, and in places other than your mouth, you'd be surprised how those things feel on the body. The temple, you can, if someone hits you hard enough in your temple, they can kill you, right? But they also, if you're touched the right way in your temple, you can be absolutely positively turned on and turned out if things are amplified. So, connecting with your sensual self can heighten all your sexual experiences because you are now more attuned to what your body likes. You are more attuned to what turns you on and what you're not getting that you can go back to the top of the list and start asking for. So, again, my friends, 5 ways to get what you want in the bed. My friend Axel here says, I found it easier to experiment with a girlfriend compared to experimenting with someone I was just dating. Exactly. There's a certain sense of comfortability when you have an intimate relationship with someone, and I don't mean specifically intimate sexually. I mean intimate in the sense that you have this connection with this person. You feel comfortable enough with them to tell them things that mean something to you. So yeah, when you're just meeting and hooking up with somebody, you're not going to share with them how in that closet right over there you've got latex hood and someone comes over every week to flog you for an hour, and then like you're not necessarily telling them that. But with a girlfriend, once she becomes the girlfriend and is no longer the chick you date on Thursday, you might then share with her what happens with the stuff in the closet and find out that she's into that, or she'd like to also have somebody come flog her. But there's that connection that has to first exist to be willing to be this kind of vulnerable. Because at the end of the day, y'all, that's what it comes down to as well, is that vulnerability. To Axel's point, you're sharing that with a girlfriend and not some piece of ass you hit on Thursday, because let's just be honest, you don't want that shit to come back and bite you in the ass, or you don't want someone to take advantage of that thing that you're sharing. It's too important to you. And if put in the hands of the wrong person, it can ruin your sexual experiences. This is, and again, I'm not going to go too far to the left, but that's part of why some people who have had negative sexual experiences are unable to have good sexual experiences, because it's left this scar on them that takes them some time, if ever, to get. So, yeah. Um, and Lorenzo says, people have to get away from thinking that intercourse is the only way to bring ultimate pleasure with your partner. Correct. Correct. I think for us, when we're in our younger 20s and 30s, it's all about the sex. It's all about that slapping of the skin. But as you mature sexually, as well as you mature with age, you do learn other things that stimulate you. And that's again what these 5 ways to get what you want in the bed are about. It's finding those things that stimulate you and allow you to have more experiences. Because sometimes, it isn't about the fucking. I'm sorry, I'm just saying. For us ladies, when we have our period, we don't always want to fuck. But there might be some other stuff that we can do and try, and whatever the case is. But you never know, because if you're always thinking it's about sex, then you'll never get to these other things. Axel says, I've had someone that I was dating that wanted those experiences but was inexperienced themselves. Yeah, that's tricky. That's tricky. So, I don't know if this person had reached girlfriend status or if they were still in that dating status. But when you're interacting with someone who's inexperienced in, let's say, the kink lifestyle, you have to sometimes tread lightly. And the best way, or one of the best ways to have this experience with them, dating status. Okay, so one of the best ways to have experience with someone who's inexperienced is to find out what it is they're thinking. Find out what kinds of experiences they want to have and whether they've ever had them, or is it still just in fantasy stage. And in the case of, Axel, where he's talking about, this was still during dating status and not girlfriend level, you can possibly say, hey, let's just go to a dungeon and be observers and see what happens, what goes on. You're not obligated to do anything in the dungeon. You can go and just be an observer. And it might help figure out whether or not this person can go from dating status to partner, girlfriend, boyfriend status. But I also don't recommend it as a first date if you're, both inexperienced. Like, that's not a first date scenario if you don't really know that that's what they're into and that's what they do and whatever. But depending upon how far along in, you might give it some thought to just go and be a fly on the wall and see how they respond and how they react. And, if they make it to girlfriend status, whoop, whoop. Now you already know. But that's a good one, Axel. That's a really good one because, like I said, a lot of folks, they've got these fantasies. They've got these things they'd like to try, but they're not really sure how to say it or if they want to say it. So if you get someone who shares that with you during dating status, don't get too crazy. But yeah, continue the conversation in whatever level of comfortability you all have. Definitely be guarded to some extent because you don't want to put all those cards on the table. But, you want to find out whether or not they're serious, whether or not they've actually got a kink background, or it's just some shit they're saying thinking it's going to convince you to stay longer. Because, listen, folks will say some things. Folks, these people have read all of the 50 Shades of Grey and now they think they're kinky. And the fact is, they're not. They all think they're going to get a Dorian Gray by saying that, they want to be blindfolded and flogged or whatever. Don't even get me started. Don't get me started. Anyway, so these are 5 ways to get what you want in the bed. Share your sexual fantasies with your partner. Tell them something you would like to change. Share something you would like to try. Share something you've never confessed. And most importantly, connect with your sensual self. All right, y'all. For those of you who follow me regularly, on Wednesdays at 10 o'clock, we have BoobTube. This week, no BoobTube. So, guess you're going to have to find something else to do at 10 o'clock or watch a rerun of BoobTube. But other than that, I got one more thing for you. Hold on.
I got what you need, I got what you want, I got what you need, tell them giddy up. I got horses in the back, trunk in the front, exterior and that inside buttercup. I got what you need, I got what you want, I got what you need. Tell them giddy up.
Well, all right, y'all. That is tonight's show. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Casey at Night. And to my friend Tevin, who dropped in earlier, I swear I am going to see how I can get Ms. Rita Daniels back on. I want to get her to give me an art lesson. But in the meantime, Lorenzo is suggesting that you watch a rerun of Casey at Night. Yeah, I, why not? Got nothing else to do, right? But in the meantime, y'all, I appreciate you being here with me, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bésame, ven y atrápame, hagamos jueguitos.
Okay, so that's the wrong video. All right, so I messed up my outro. I dropped the video in the wrong spot. Anyway, all right, y'all, I'm out. Bye.